Mr. John, go ahead.
Alright. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, the profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and natural meaning.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully, after we finish with the furling the dependent origination, I will spend time to share you with the entering the Bodhisattva path. That is one of the, or they call the guide to the Bodhisattva path. It's written by Santi Deva. He one of the best author and one of the best Buddhist scholar as well practitioner in India in the 8th century. That is famous by the book is very famous by Indian tradition as well as the Tibetan tradition, and now it is very well known in Western country like the Europe and as well as the North America as well. I think it will become very interesting. A lot of interesting poetry and we can learn a lot of things from there. We learn most of them as Bodhicitta, and we want to deep dive into it. And I hope that will be the next topic after this. But before that, I also want to show you after we done with the 62 wrong view, with 62 kind of wrong view, I will also want to help you to understand the Adornment Flower Sutra, one of the highest Mahayana sutra. And it's very difficult to understand, but we will learn that so you will understand the Mahayana in the way of consciousness, okay, in the way of consciousness. That will be, it's called a dependent arising, just like we learned in the 12 dependent and origination.
What was the name of the book? Did you say A Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life? And what was the author? Can you spell the name of the author?
Okay, let me show you. You can read it first. I actually bought the book. There are many different. Okay, hold on. There are many different authors for that.
I was just on Amazon looking for it. I saw even by Santdeva.
Yeah. Okay, I show you. Okay. Oh. Okay, this one will be this one also. Okay. Now but this is not a good one. I want to show you the best one. This is the one. Bodhisattva, that is also. They have many different authors on this. So okay, you know what? Let me stop the recording. Okay, you see this book right here, right? This is just the commentary for they call the meaningful to behold, the Bodhisattva way or the guide to the and also this is the author right here, Geshe Kesan Geto. This is the Tibetan guru, one of the Tibetan guru. And this is right here. This is also the name of the book in English, A Guide to the Bodhisattva Way. Oh, sorry. This is the Sanskrit name, the same thing like this. And the author is Santideva, or sometimes they spell with the H, Santideva. You see that?
Yes. Yep. That's one of them that pulled up.
And also the Venerable Master with the great commentary, the book, the meaningful to the behold. This is the commenter. And I will share you that later on. And with this kind of model, it will detail in like this. But even you read it, it will help you a lot. But when we discuss, we will come out with a lot of interesting points. So you will learn this in detail later on. And this is one of the best books I read so far. This is very good. Okay. So any questions so far?
Did you create the outline there?
No,
Is that just something?
This is their outline, but their outline is it's good, but I don't use it much. So what I did is I from this book right here, from this book right here, he did not outline the way just like the PDF do, but it's similar way. But I have to go into the content and go into the content, and I'll be able to extract the outline. I will show you. I will show you the outline in Vietnamese. It's similar to the way you see in English. I'm teaching this one in Vietnamese on Saturday. Oh, this is the one. Okay, sorry. So basically, there are 10 chapters, and they are in the format of the verse like this. Okay, I will show you. It's in the format of poem. It's 4 lines of a poem, and it's like that. Each chapter they have many 4 lines like this, and it's describe the step how to practice the Bodhisattva way. It's very good, very good. So when I okay, from this book right here, I extracted, I create the outline based on that book, because that's what I'm going to use the commentary from this Venerable Master. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, you see this? I haven't had time to finish it, but this is the way I highlight with the different color. And I will do the same in English when I share you, and you will learn for each chapter. Before you learn, you see the structure, how it works out, and based on that, you will be able. It's not only that. I will introduce the whole book at the beginning. What the book, how many chapters they have, and we have a summary of each chapter. And also each chapter, I also give you the detailed outline like this, so you will be able to understand easily. Okay, it will be fully benefit. When you read this, and you will see the beauty of the Mahayana. Okay, this is one of the beautiful work that Santi Deva he created. It's beautiful in both literature as well as in the Mahayana tradition. Okay. Any question? Any more?
Thank you.
Okay, we have many things to learn. Don't worry. That's good. We still learn. Never think that we end up learning. The only time we are not learning, that means that is the time we go. That's the time we pass away. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for myself. Yeah. All right. Okay, we continue on the 62 round view. We start last week. Okay, before that, I need to close some of them, otherwise I'm confusing myself. Okay, good. This is good. Let me close this thing. Okay. All right. That's good. Okay, last time we start on the in the 62 wrong view, right? They break down into two different groups. The first one is called the 18 type of wrong view regarding the past. The second one is the 44 kind of wrong view regarding the future, right? So, and we are learning the first one, that means the 4 wrong view regarding the let me see which one. Wrong view regarding the external list, right? External list, yeah, that we did. And what does that mean? It means that, okay, let me show you here. I summarize in this model so you will be able to understand it. Okay. So the last week we learned about the 4 wrong view regarding to the external list. Satisfied with the meditation, it means that because of the deep do you remember, Tammy? Can you tell me what did we learn last time for the 4 wrong view?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
I mean, I'll remember like as you start talking about it, but like off the top of my head, no, I can't remember like that.
Okay, that's okay. That's good because this is you said the beginning of the Buddhism anyway, so it's not easy to retain. It's okay. You me some time as well, so it's okay. That's right. All right. Thắng Thiền, do you remember? Did you remember?
I think we talk about there was a Brahma or the ascetic that practice they want to practice about remember the past life of what they had been going through. They just sit down in meditation and try to recall the past life.
Yeah, we collect the past life, right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. So because of the deep concentration that they be able to remember many past lives about their birth and death and rebirth often occur. So therefore, they proclaim the self and the world to be eternal, right? Eternal, not eternal, eternal. I mean eternal. That means forever. That means to them, they say that the self is always there, always exists. That means during the time in their meditation, they experience for many past lives, right? They be able to see that. That's why they say that the self always exists, no matter what. And the world that they live in always exists. This is what they said. They program themselves eternal. Some be able to remember one past life, were 2, 3, 4, up to 10. One be able to remember about 100, even 1,000, even many thousand, 10,000 or whatever. They be able to remember that many, and that's why they program the cell and the world is always eternal. Why was that? Because in here we learn about the consciousness that the alaya consciousness, that means in the past, whatever they have done, right? The knowledge, the experience, the good karma and the bad karma, or whatever they have learned, they already they in here. Okay, hold on. So sorry, the kid making noise. That's why I am trying to ask them to calm down. Okay. Anyway, so basically, whatever they have learned, they have practiced, they play good or bad. They all those things is in here. So it becomes the subconsciousness. That means usually the normal people like us, we cannot be able to see it because the monkey mind, right? They stop us from seeing it. But when they do the meditation, the monkey mind become clear. That means no more monkey, right? The only thing working when they in the deep meditation, the monkey mind, that means they go to sleep, right? Inside the mana consciousness. Remember, I told you that, right? And the mana consciousness is the one who very active during the deep meditation, right? So this is where they be able to retrieve a lot of past life information. So the knowledge about in the past, right? They be able to see that many past life depend on how deep their meditation is, and they can deep dive into the ocean of the knowledge in the Ariya consciousness. And therefore, whatever they see during the time they were born, therefore they proclaim themselves the rebirth. That means the cell always exists, and the world they live in always exists. Therefore, they said that the eternal. That means never end, never die. Right? Does that make sense to you, Tammy?
Yes, but that makes sense. But so then in the end, so the ones that enter nirvana, like, where do their energy goes? Does it go back to the Buddha nature in the end?
Oh, okay. Remember, this wrong view here, that means we call the non-Buddhist practitioner, they will not be able to attend the nirvana. Remember that, right? Because they have the wrong view, right? Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, it makes sense. I
So,
understand, because we're talking about the wrong views. So they're saying it's an eternal, where it's not eternal, really, because it's the wrong view.
yeah, because if the one who be able to remember, last week I told you that even the Buddha have the ocean of the knowledge, right? He can be able to go back to a numerous countless past life, and he can see things in the past, but he did not attach to this, right? Therefore, that's what we call the wisdom. But because even though the deep meditation, the meditator, they still attach to those knowledge. Therefore, that is limit themselves. That's what we call the self, right? The wrong view, that is what we call the wrong view, because the attachment, nothing. As long as we have any kind of attachment, it's considered to be the wrong view. Does it make sense to you, Tong Ting?
Yeah, yes.
This is important, right? And that's clear, Hemi? Very clear?
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
And for the Arahat, right, when they enter the Nirvana, that means they have no attachment. They don't, they truly reach the emptiness. But remember, in the Theravada, emptiness is not the same with the Mahayana. The emptiness in the Theravada, that means it's everything come right and go. We call impermanent. The thing in coming to the existence, that's what we call. It depends on the cause and the condition. It makes things become existent. Does that make sense to you, Tammy?
Yes.
And when the time come by, right, even our body, when we get old and our time is due, right? That means we come into that's what they call extinction. That means the first one, existence, that means the birth. Extinction, that means death. And that's what they say that this is what they call impermanent, right? It's nothing is permanent. Therefore, it's not there is no cell. That means the cell, no cell in anything. Even the living being, there is no cell themselves. And that means all this thing is called illusion to the Theravada. And therefore, they don't have any motivation to practice the Bodhisattva way. But in the Mahayana, true emptiness is different than this one. Yes, we also understand that, but emptiness doesn't mean that it's truly emptiness. Because everything comes from the emptiness into the existence. That means, yes, when we have the perfect wisdom, that's how we dwell on the emptiness. But when we have the vow to liberate the sentient being, that's what we come from emptiness. We go into the form. Does it make sense, Tammy?
Yes.
Because many sentient beings like us, let's say that the Bodhisattva see that before he becomes Bodhisattva, he just like the sentient being. He also suffered like that. Now I be able to attain the ultimate goal. I be able to free from all suffering. Therefore, I should be make the vow to liberate the sentient being. Therefore, emptiness doesn't mean that they truly emptiness. Form doesn't mean it's really truly form, because it come and go, and it depend on where we are. The Bodhisattva or the Buddha always dwell on the emptiness, and when they working on the Bodhisattva path, they were working on the selfless, because the selfless basically is emptiness. Does it make sense, Tammy?
Yes, it makes sense.
This is important because when we using the selfless mentality to serve the living being, therefore we have no obstacle or any obstruction. Okay, therefore we willing to sacrifice for the greater good for something. That is totally different view than Theravada. Okay, because they know that the Bodhisattva know that the sentient being, they are the pleasant field of the Bodhisattva. Without them, they know way for them to practice the Bodhisattva. If they cannot be able to practice the Bodhisattva way, there is no way for them to attain the Buddhahood. And in order to practice the Bodhisattva way, they need to resolve the bodhicitta. And that's what we're going to learn in the Bodhisattva way, the one that I just introduced you. They talk about the bodhicitta very much. The bodhicitta, it means that the motivation benefit the sentient from the motivation come from the loving kindness and compassion. That is the motivation for the bodhisattva. And whenever we have the loving kindness, any being, even the non-Buddhists, if they have any form of loving kindness to other or compassion, that is the way that's how they be able to resolve their initial bodhicitta. And the initial bodhicitta is so important to the bodhisattva way. It's so important because without that, you have no bodhisattva. That means the bodhisattva born from the bodhicitta. Does that make sense to you, Hemi?
That makes sense, but when you use the word resolve the bodhicitta, that's confusing. What are you trying to resolve? That resolve to me sounds like you're trying to fix something so you can move to the next step. But if it's coming from loving kindness and compassion, what are you trying to resolve?
No. When I say resolve, it means arrive the bodhicitta.
Okay.
Arrive. That means because we never have we never know how to write the bodhicitta because we don't see that is important. We have no idea. We don't know the benefit of the bodhicitta. Therefore, there is no motivation for us to arise the bodhicitta. Therefore, when we later on when we learn that book, they talk about that very detailed. And we can also provide very rich example so you understand how important. And based on the Mahayana Sutra, you will learn all these things together. I will combine the Venerable Master commentary as well as I will use my own, I will reference different Mahayana Sutra, so you will be able to understand the bodhicitta, especially in the Adornment Flower Sutra. They are talking about this a lot. So you will learn this in deep, in depth. So and it will be wonderful lesson we will be able to learn later on. I will prepare that because I need time to prepare all those things as well. Okay, all right. So let me go back here. So basically, now we understand that the first four wrong view regarding to the eternalism, that means based on their satisfied with the meditation they have, therefore they declare they program the self and the world always eternal. Okay, now we can move to the next one. The next one is called the four wrong view regarding partial eternal and non-eternal. This is the way that the wrong view when they don't see the truth, and that's what happened. Okay, if they see the truth, it will not happen in this world. Okay. Let me see where. No, this one. Okay, this is the one. I think. Okay. Okay. Last time we stopped at the wrong view number 4. Now we will finish this thing. All right. Thang Thiện, go ahead and read this thing for me, please.
These are the 4 ways in which these ascetic and Brahmins are eternalists and proclaim the eternity of self and the world on the 4 grounds. And whatever ascetics or Brahmin are eternalists and proclaim eternity of the self and the world, they do so on one of these 4 grounds. There is no other way. These monks, the Tathagata, understand These viewpoints thus grasped and adhere to will lead to such and such destination in another world. This the Tathagata knows, and more, he is not attached to that knowledge. And being thus unattached, he has experienced for himself perfect peace. And having truly understand the arising and the passing away of feelings, their attraction and peril, and the deliverance from them, the Tathagata is liberated without remainder. There are, amongst other matters, profound, hard to see, hard to understand, peaceful, excellent, beyond mere thought, subtle to be experienced by the wise, which the Tathagata, having realized them by by his own super knowledge proclaimed, and about which those who would choosely praise the Tathagata, we speak, rightly speak. And what are these matters?
Good, that's good. Tell me what you just read.
Um, so they talk about Brahman and the one status. They proclaim that they are eternalists, and they proclaim that they are the eternity of and let's see. So they still attach to this knowledge and they don't let go of it, but the Tathagata don't attach to these things, and he seemed that when he does not attach to these things, he's more peaceful, and he has a perfect peace, and he understands the way of life, and he is liberated without remainder. This one talk about four grounds. I don't know what the four grounds is that. Is that the wrong view for?
Okay, okay, hold on. Okay. So, do you know what did Ramin mean?
It talk about four grounds.
Oh, four round. That means four wrong view. That's basically four wrong view. The four wrong view remember we learned about the wrong view number 1 and 2, number 4.
I see.
They use the word but do you know what is the Ramin? Ramin in this one. Would you know who are they? The Buddha in the Sutra. Buddha always refer to the Ramin. You know who are they?
Brahman is one of the case system, and he is like the top beings on the case system. He's the one that practiced the Brahma way.
No. Brahman, yeah, they are the one from the Hindu religion. They are the top in the caste system. Yeah, right, that's correct. So in here, you just what I said, right? They due to their meditation, they see the cell and the world. But the Buddha said, the Tathagata, the Buddha, that means the Buddha, understand that those view, that means those four viewpoint here, third wrath and adhere, here, that means they still attached, right? Will lead them to set the destination to in another world. That means material. This is called the material. That means attachment. One, the Buddha referred to the another world. That means relate to the material, to the attachment. That means they are not the one who enlightened yet. They still in they are still the ordinary people. Okay? This is the Tathagata know more and more, but that means he know all this thing already. That means because he have all those knowledge inside the Alaya consciousness already, he know all this thing already, but he did not attach, right, to that knowledge. You see that? And due to his unattached, and he have experienced for himself the perfect peace. That means when the one that do not attach to anything, they are attend the perfect peace. Remember, the Buddha are always in the state of nirvana. Okay, doesn't mean the Arhat is different. They have to wait until they give up the body and they can enter into the nirvana. But the Buddha always in the state of nirvana. Do you know why? Let me, you understand this concept?
I understand what you're saying, but I had never heard that before.
Okay.
So no, I don't understand how he's always in the state of nirvana.
Okay, usually the nirvana, it means the ultimate happiness. That's what it means. It means that for the Arhat, even though they attend the Arhat, that means they were only enjoy the ultimate happiness is when they in the deep in the samadhi, right? But when they walk, when they stand, when they go for both, right? They still interact with the other people, and it's interrupt their happiness. But they dwell their mind and their body and their mouth on the mindfulness. Okay, they always in the mindfulness situation. That's why that's how they train their mind, their body, and their mouth. But doesn't mean that their happiness is not continuously. So until they pass away, that means they enter into the deep meditation and they stay in the ultimate happiness. This is what they call the nirvana, and it's the nirvana. It means that no death, no birth. Okay, that means they end all the suffering. They end all they get out of the death and rebirth cycle. Okay, so. But the Buddha, on the other hand, because he beyond this thing already, his mind always in the ultimate happiness. Right? He doesn't need to be enter into the meditation to enjoy the happiness. No, he doesn't need that because his mind, his mouth, and his body purely conduct, very pure. And that means he always in the state of nirvana, even though he's still alive. Does that make sense to you, Tammy?
Yes, that makes sense. But I guess now my question is, so when the Arhats enter nirvana, they're not, they still exist though. They're just not being reborn again. So they're just in, like, their energy is just in like a meditation stance. Is there any storehouse still there, like processing, or you're not thinking because you don't have the mind part to think anymore?
Okay, remember, their mind is enter into the non-duality. Do you know what does that mean? Non-duality, that means they do not have any concept that during that time. When you have no concept, that means they know duality. Duty, that us, right? We are human. We are the ordinary people. We are the sentient being, right? We always using the consciousness. Therefore, we live in the world of the duality. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful, love and hate, right? Black and white. That means there are two sides of it. That therefore we always suffer, right? But for the one who in the state of nirvana, they don't have any thought arrived from the consciousness. Therefore, they that means nothing for them to do, right? They have nothing for they don't do anything. That means they in that state for a long time, and they enjoy the happiness because no consciousness arrive to bother them. Does it make sense so far? They don't have any kind of thought for the duality.
Just the mind consciousness though, right? The mana and the Allah is still there, but the mind consciousness goes away.
The mind consciousness, right? Therefore, when the mind consciousness become very peaceful, become empty, that means empty. That means it's nothing in here, right? The mana consciousness, that means it's also because they do not attach to the self. This also it's not there. But the alaya consciousness is also there, but it's turned into wisdom, more into wisdom, because they do not have any kind of consciousness. That means now it turned into wisdom. Yet whatever the knowledge they have in the past, whatever the good deed or the bad deed they have in the past, it's still there. That's why they do not create the new karma, but they do have the existing karma in the past. It's still in the alaya consciousness. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So none of it, it's always still there. All of it's always going to be there. It doesn't go away ever.
But they be able to, it's still there, but they be able to, that means right now, from now on, all there, it become very pure. That means it's no more create any kind of bad deed, right? They don't even create any good deed either. Create a bad deed or good deed come from the consciousness. That means the duality. But to the Arahat, they create nothing, right? Therefore, their mind is like an empty one. And that's why they can be able to enjoy the true happiness from there. And that true happiness is not stay there forever. Remember, they will last only some kata for a long time, and they will wake up from that. Okay, they will wake up from the nirvana and they will practice the bodhisattva. Does it make sense so far?
So they wake up from it. They don't even stay in it forever. I thought that was like they want to get to nirvana and stay there. Like they're the ones that don't want to become the bodhisattvas, right?
That is the misconception for the Theravada at the beginning. Remember in the Flower Sutra, right? The Flower Sutra, right? The Buddha said that the nirvana that you all have right now is just a temporary. Does it make sense? It's just a temporary because when the Buddha become enlightened, right? The Dharma he found is so profound. If he used the profound teaching to teach the ordinary people, they will not be able to understand. Okay, they will not be able to understand and what good. So I rather enter into nirvana and withdraw from the world and do nothing. That means that's what the Buddha said. Think at the beginning. Therefore, the Rama and the Inca, that means the king of the god, and many gods came from the heaven, come down and kneel down be in front of the Buddha and request the Buddha to do the turning the Dhamma wheel. That means to do the teaching. And at that time, the Buddha accepted, and he using many different experience mean to teach, right? So that's why he teach the Four Noble Truths, the eightfold path, and and many other. That is the first teaching. After the five disciples learn understand the Four Noble Truths and eightfold path, they attend the nirvana, and that is the first time we hear the word about nirvana. But this nirvana is just for the small nirvana. It's not the great nirvana like the Buddha. the great nirvana, the ultimate nirvana, like the Buddha. That means he always in the state of nirvana, regardless he walking, sleeping, standing, talking. He when he associate with the world, right? He's still in that mindset. That is the true nirvana. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so is that the part in the Lotus Sutra when he creates like the fake village, the illusion of a village to help them come to peace, to continue the journey? So the village is like the first nirvana, and then you carry the journey on to become the bodhisattva to move on to ultimate nirvana?
Yeah, that's right. Remember they called the the manifest palace, right? Because they are, let's say that in the sutra they give the metaphor that from here to the ultimate treasure place, right? It takes about 500 miles, right? 500 miles. But you know what? These people, they don't know how long to get there, right? And they follow the leader, and only about 300 miles, they already get exhausted, and they want to withdraw, right? They want to go back, and the leader know that, and he used the experience mean to manifest into the city, right? At the beautiful city, at the temporary for them to rest. And one day they rest there, and after they recuperated, and the leader said that okay, this is just the temporary city I create for you to rest. No, but from here to the true treasure place, it's still more to go before. So you can we can start on the journey. Continue on our journey. So this is so basically the temporary city is just like the temporary nirvana in the Arhat way, and the ultimate city, the ultimate the treasure place is the ultimate nirvana in the that means the Buddhahood. Does it make sense to you?
Yes, except the only part I didn't understand was in between the short nirvana and the ultimate nirvana, you have the bodhisattva path
Yeah, that's
to get
correct.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. Because the nirvana that they have is only benefit themselves. They cannot be able to benefit the other because they do not have they have not understand the true emptiness in the Mahana way yet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So one day there, that's why in the Flower Sutra, the Buddha give them with many different metaphors, they can be able to understand it, and they can be able to have faith into. And the Buddha said that if you want until you be able to attend the 32 mark and 80 feature and have all the power like the Buddha, like me, then then you can say that you have reached the ultimate nirvana. But right now you're still too far. You need to work on it. That's good. That's good. So therefore, at the beginning, the Buddha. Okay, there are many different phrases that the Buddha teaching throughout the 49 years. There are 5 different phrases. When the Buddha reached enlightened under the Bodhi tree during the 49 days, after he reached the enlightened, and he spent the 21st day to expound the Adornment Flower Sutra. That is the highest sutra in Mahayana. And who were the audience for Buddha? The great Bodhisattva. Not for the Arhat. Arhat not be able to understand this thing. And after the 21 day, and the heaven king came down and request the Buddha to turn the Dhamma wheel, and that's where he spent I think it's 8 years or 12 years to teaching teaching the Theravada Sutta. That's what we have in the Theravada Sutta right now. And that is the second period of teaching, right? The third period of teaching is he spent about, I think it's, I'm not remember exactly, maybe another 8 year or 20 year to teaching the Heart Sutra. That means the true emptiness. Okay, and that means the true emptiness. That means the wisdom, the true wisdom. The fourth one is he teaching all the Mahayana Sutra, and the last one he teaching the Flower Dhamma Sutra and the Nirvana Sutra, the red Nirvana Sutra. That means that on the day he passed away, he teaching that sutra, and that is really good sutra as well. But it's very tough to understand if you don't have the Mahayana mentality to understand that. It's very tough to understand. But anyway, so 49 days, he, no, 49 years, 45 years he spent teaching. He already taught more than 300, over 300 assemblies. Like that. So anyway, so far so good. I hope I don't confuse you.
No, that's great. Thanks for the extra information.
Okay, all right. Okay. So all right, let's and you know what, if we say this to the Theravada tradition, they will not accept it, they will reject, right? Because they reject all the Mahayana Sutra. It's not come from the Buddha, it comes from the patriarch or after the Buddha passed away, all these things created by those people, so they don't trust the Mahayana. But doesn't matter. When we, based on the Buddha teaching, we contemplate if those kind of teaching, it give us the benefit and the benefit of others, and also the wise phrasing that we should accept it, regardless. But when we contemplate on it, those kind of teaching bring harm to us when we apply it, and when we practice it, it brings harm to us and harm to others. And why is to criticize it? We should not accept this teaching. So next time I will share you the Kamala. Oh, I think it's a good idea to show you that Kamala as well. I think that also the good one. Kamala. Okay, I think because now we in this one, I want to show you this one. So it's very understand. This is a totally different from the Buddhism and the rest of the world religion. Give me 1 second. I have many PowerPoint. Okay, let me see. Kamala. Oh, okay, right here. Okay. Okay, in the Kamala Sutra. Okay, Tammy, please help me to read it one.
In the Kamala Sutra, the Buddha has taught the following. Do not believe anything just because it has been heard of. Don't believe anything just because it's popularized. Don't believe anything just because it's from the tradition. Do not believe anything just because it is recited from the scriptures. Don't believe anything just because it is said by a founder of a religion. Don't believe anything just by speculation. Don't believe anything by logical reasoning alone. Don't believe anything just because you think it makes sense. Do not believe anything just because it is consistent with prejudice. Don't believe anything just because it is said by your teacher, but only by knowing for yourself that those things are not true, those things are not legitimate, those things are criticized by the wise, and when accepted, when practicing will lead to harm and suffering, then you must abandon those things. When it is you who know these things are true, those things are not to be blamed. Those things are praised by the wise. Those things, when accepted and practiced, will lead to peaceful happiness, then you must strive to practice.
Okay, so you understand, right?
Yes.
And do you know what the scenario or what is the occasion that this one is when this one is teaching from the Buddha? Actually, the Kamala is the people from the Kamala village, right? Because they said that they heard many different leaders from different religions say that each religious leader say that our teaching is the best. You need to believe in me, right? So when the Buddha come and they ask that the Venerable Gautama, that means the Buddha, they address like that. Because many other religions, each one of them say that their teaching is the best. So how do we know which one is the best? So please help us to understand it. So this is this is why the Buddha give this kind of teaching. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Don't believe anything without experience.
Yeah. So do you think that in the world right now, any religion, do they dare to say this thing like that? Like the Buddha said?
No, you're just supposed to listen and follow.
They never dare to say like this. They only force their follower to believe blindly and follow them. That are most of the religion in the world right now. And this is why the Buddha give this kind of teaching that help us to help us to not walk into the wrong path. This is very important. Nowadays, you see that there are many different kind of practice that it doesn't bring any benefit. Like in the Hindu, right? They every year they have the Grand River festival. Do you know that?
Yes. Yes. We talked about this just yesterday. I think it was.
Okay. They every year a million people came to the Grand River and they bathing, right? They say that well, the Brahmin they can be able to help them to purify their sin, right? To be able to eradicate their sin by through the holy water. And you know what? The Grand River is the most polluted water in the world. And you know what? Right now, the India they have a lot of COVID case, right? Infected. It's the second highest after the U.S. And in the short time, they reach very high. And you know what? They still go to the vegetable water, and they say that I'm going to die anyway. Why should I lose my faith in my own religion, right? You know, those things it's very what do you call it's slightly it's too extreme, right? So that's why this is the way the Buddha teaching help us to every time. This is I will remember in the Eightfold Path, right? The right view, the right contemplation, or you call the right intention, the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood, the right effort, the right mindfulness, and the right concentration. You remember this thing, Tammy?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, the right view, what does that mean? We understand the Buddha teaching, especially the Four Noble Truths, the law of cause and effect, the Eightfold Path, and so on and so on. That gives us the right view. That means we understand the Buddha teaching. That's what's called the principle, right? When we have the right view, and when you do the contemplation, whenever you hear someone say something, or when you read something from the scripture or whatever, first thing you need to contemplate, not to believe right away. No, do not believe even the Buddha teaching, right? You need to contemplate in the way that you based on the whatever you learn from the Buddha teaching that you already know, right? That's what the right view. Based on the principle, you contemplate and to see the thing that you just hear or you just see. Does it make sense to you according with the principle? This is important. Contemplation is so important because the right view and the right contemplation, the combination of the two, gives you the wisdom. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that would make sense.
Okay, so it's important. So we need to be. So it doesn't matter who said. We need to contemplate all the time. That make us to walk into the right path. It never, we will not fall into the wrong path. Okay. So, okay, time is up right now. So, wow, I didn't know that. Any question anymore? But today we did not learn much, but it's okay. We also review a lot of things. Okay. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. Okay. John, go ahead and read this one.
May every living being, our mind is one radiant of light, share fruits of peace, for hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. The people here and see our hand to heart confined, giving unity. May the minds awake to great compassion, wisdom to joy. May kindness find reward, and may also relieve their grief and pain. May his bounds light break the darkness of the endless night, because our heart is one, this world of pain turned to paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Good. All right. I recommend you, everyone, you need to buy this book to read it. I think it's worth it to. You can get the ebook. It's cheap. It's not too expensive. Where is this? Oh, wrong one. What happened? What happened to my book? Oh, not this one. I mean, okay, this one right here. The meaningful. Okay, hello. We call the meaningful to behold. The Bodhisattva way or the world friendly, right? From the author, it's Venerable Geshe Kelsan. And later on, we will discuss about this for the next topic when we're done with traveling dependent on nation. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's. Yeah.
So would you recommend reading that one be first, the other one, the Way to Bodhisattva?
Oh no, I could not hear you well with the children. Okay. What